I apologize. I forgot to plug up my microphone, Jordan Taylor. My bad. But everybody, welcome to the Boot Breakdown. And now I pass it to the one and only Jordan Taylor.
The Boot Breakdown Week 9 edition. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It is the final crunch time for the playoff brackets that are a week away. This time next week, it will be talking all things playoffs. But before we get there, we have to talk about this loaded week 9 that we just had. Not many upsets in the state of Louisiana, but boy, did we have some ball games to talk about tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a jam-packed show. It's week 9 edition of the Boot Breakdown, and we got a nice panel set up for you to talk all things high school football. Hit the like, hit the share, subscribe to JB's YouTube channel. We're getting ready to break it down here in week number 9. My name is Jordan Taylor. This is JB the Sports Guys. Lamar is with us tonight also, and we got the one and only down there at the bottom of your screen. What's going on, Mr. Nick? Fellas, shout out your affiliations. Let everyone know where they can find your work, and we're going to get right into this one. It's going to be a fun show.
Let's do it. JB the Sports Guy here. You can find me on YouTube at JB the Sports Guy. Also, host of the Hash It Out Show Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 7 o'clock on the YouTube page of JB the Sports Guy.
Lamar Gafford here. You can find me on sinlotpreps.com. All of our writing is on there as well. And a lot of good action here from Central Louisiana. I can't wait to talk a little bit about that.
Nick Campbell here, River Parish. You can catch me on Thursday morning on Facebook Live, a little bit Instagram. We have a couple clippings out there talking about the River Parish area and anything you want to know about this area. Me and JB got it locked down.
Yes, indeed. Look, we got to sprinkle in all over the state right here on the panel tonight. So we're going to give you what we know. You got district champions that have been lined up. You got homecomings that were won, spoiled. You got senior nights that were honored. Many of them won, many of them did not win. A lot to break down. We get after it here tonight. So I was at a couple games. I know you guys were at a couple games. First off, let's hear about what you saw up close and personal. We'll start with JB. The games that you got to see this week, talk to me.
Oh, all right. Let me make it quick because it was 4 games I got to see this week. We'll start with.
Must be nice to have all the money, huh?
I ain't saying all that. But
4 games in 1 week, okay.
Yeah, 4 games, man. But I'll let Nick talk about one of them because we was at one of them. But I'll go Shaw and Bell Chase. Credit Bell Chase. They won that game 14-0. Archbishop Shaw defense couldn't stop them at all, and their offense couldn't even move the ball on Bell Chase. So credit Bell Chase for that win. Saturday afternoon, I got to see Jefferson Rise take on Thomas Jefferson. And it was a close ball game first. Jefferson Rise had opportunities to score, but once they got to the red zone, they were committing penalties that hurt them. And come second half, Thomas Jefferson was just a different team. They won 42-14. And then Saturday night, I got to see Riverdale take on East Jefferson. Riverdale won 58-21. And like I tell people, that is the most talented team and probably the best team ever at Riverdale High School.
Okay. Lamar, we go to you, my man. What did you get a chance to see this week? I know not many games in the Cenla area where they lived up to it, but you did have some good ones that stood out.
Yeah, one of the ones I was at, and it was between Alexandria Senior High and Washita. That definitely lived up to the billing. Late touchdown by Kason Williams helped Ash get that one a 28-21 victory. But it was a crazy game all the way through. Tough, talented Washita team. I mean, yeah, they've lost their last 4 games, but that does not talk about how good this team is. This team is an amazing team. Montreal Connor, MJ Dade, Wydett Clark. Those three guys, big time playmakers. At one point in the game, Ash was able to stop them on fourth down, but then they had a scooping score for Washita that tied up the ball game. Washita then stops Ash on 4 downs, and everybody in the crowd's probably thinking, "Man, Washita might have the chance to win this ball game." But Travius Williams, big interception there that set up that big rushing touchdown by Kason Williams, and Ash comes away unscathed there with that win. And we've kind of set up now an interesting 2-5A district where nobody is in control of their own destiny going into weeks in.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Nick, talk to me, my man. What those great eyes got to see this past week?
Yeah, I was at the River Parish family reunion this weekend, man, where I hope a lot of people notice what happened. We witnessed a kid score 7 touchdowns in one game, man. I was a part of a game last year where Dietrich Lassie scored 9 touchdowns in one game. And when you're talking about high school football and you playing a classic game like the River Parish Battle of the River Parish, man, this kid lived up to the billing that was there. They had plenty of recruiters in the building. Good game early on. It kind of peeled away, and that's your hand favor down the stretch.
Okay. And then for myself, Thursday night, I got to do Catholic Appointed P and Sacred Heart. Good 5-1A district battle there between the two. It was a 6-point game going into the fourth quarter, and then Catholic Appointed P's Jude Morrison, a really impressive 7.5-minute drive to close things out and go up in that one 2 scores. So Catholic Appointed P continues to show really good offense. I know they had the 52-50 loss 2 weeks ago to St. Ed. So it's an offense that can score. So we'll look out for them going into the playoffs. And then on Friday, we got to do Lake Arthur Welsh, rivalry game in those parts of the state. And it's continued to be owned by the Greyhounds. Welsh has owned that series and continues to add on to their win column. Welsh going to be a threat in that Division IV non-select playoff bracket. So if you have not got Greyhounds on your radar, well, you better get them on your radar because they're going to hurt some feelings in this playoffs. Quarterback threw for 6 touchdowns and 2 receivers combined for 5 each. One of them is a freshman phenom. So excited for the Greyhounds and see where they fall in this year's playoffs. That's what I got to see this week. So we do have all parts of the state covered here tonight. So I have 3 games chosen from each part of your respective location that you cover. Cool?
All good.
We're going to start with my part of the region, the Acadiana area. And I would love to hear about these 3 games. And we're going to start with the big one on Thursday night. When you talk about it's a game of inches, the old saying that coach talk, it's a game of inches. Well, damn well did it come down to a game of inches Thursday night. LCA, in the most dramatic win you can remember, knocks off Pop Houston and Evangel 24-22. What a ball game. What an atmosphere. That's high school football at its best right there.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's definitely high school football at its best. And it was a game I got to see it on TV. I woke up early Saturday morning and watched it. Great ball game, two great teams. Pop Houston gets hit at the 1-yard line and fumbles the ball, like you said, game of inches. LCA recovers. I was just telling myself, why didn't Pop Houston slide? That's just it. Just slide and set up the field goal. You're down by 2. You make LCA call timeouts. Nick saying no, but I'm like, slide. You're right there. But Pop went for the touchdown. Didn't work out in Evangel's favor.
He's a gamer. He wanted to go score right there.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Player anxiety. That hurts a lot of kids.
Go ahead, Lamar. What you got to say about that game Thursday night?
Yeah, just a good game. I mean, again, the two good teams going at it against each other. I got a chance to see a little bit of the fourth quarter, even before the slide right there. But I mean, credit to LCA for getting themselves a big time win there. This continues to show why they're probably one of the more dangerous teams in Division Three Select. I think they're probably the team to beat there. But also Evangel, I mean, they're going to be a pretty interesting team going forward in that Division One Select side as well. And so for them to come away with a loss, unfortunate, but that's going to really show what they can possibly do in the season going up into the postseason here.
Vangel gets undefeated Parkway this week for the district championship. Love it. Go ahead, Nick. That Thursday night game was fantastic.
Man, that was a shot heard around the state of Louisiana because everybody had their eyes glued on that game. And just like I said, player anxiety, as a coach, players want to make plays. And when you look at it from different, he thought he had it. He really thought if I would launch, I could get it. And man, I tell you, it was great. It was a great defensive stop. It was a great effort, man. And sometimes that's how the ball bounces.
Yeah, that's why they say you play to the final whistle until the clock hits zero. And Luke Green coming out of nowhere and laying the wood right there at the 1 yard line. Never giving up on a play. That's what I love to see.
Definitely, definitely.
We go down the road, and how about a 70 burger? 70-35 inside the Crow Dome. Southside comes back with a vengeance from their loss a week ago and knocks off Carencro and just flipped this district on its head. Talk to me about Southside going put 70 up at the Crow Dome.
Well, I didn't see it happening, but it did happen. And it just seemed like the second half was a different story because that's when they just took off Southside and everything fell into their favor and they got the win. You got to credit Southside, the team, and the coaching staff for the adjustments that they made at halftime to win by the margin that they won by. So great overall team play from Southside to get that victory. And now if Carencro defeats Acadiana, there'll be a three-way tie for the district championship.
Yeah, good one there for Southside. I mean, good one there for also Jess Curtis. He's continuing to build up that program very well. And like you said, I mean, flipping up the district pretty much on his head at this point. And, we knew that the Southside team had the potential to be very, very solid this year. And that's one of the signature wins that they could definitely have there. And not only just the fact here, they also played Carencro's game of, hey, Carencro has been known to score a lot of points so far this season. Southside did a very good job in doing that, hanging 70 against them there. And again, it shows how dangerous they could also be coming up into the postseason.
Nick, what if I told you almost 700 yards rushing and 0 passing yards in that football game?
That would be my type of game. As a running back, that'll be my type of game. But when this is playoff, the weather changing. You got to get your team acclimated to running the football. This way, JB and I, we watch so much of spread offense. Love to see a good high school running football team.
And that's not just the only team that didn't complete a pass this week and won a football game.
I see where you're going with this one, buddy.
You good, my man? You didn't know I knew about that, did you?
I figured you would find out, to be honest with you. Yeah, I figured you'd find out. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right. So, big win for Southside. Which Southside team will we get in the playoffs? That's what I'm curious to see. The one that comes into the Crow Dome or the one that falls to Acadiana a week prior. So we'll see. I mean, if they go heavy rushing attack, you better have a front seven that's ready for it because it's going to be a war in the trenches come playoff time. One more for you. As we go around the state, I'm going three games in each area to start off, and then we'll go everywhere else at the end. Turlings wins the district championship over St. Thomas More, 38 14. The Rebels finally get it done. The Rebels are 9-0, and Coach Corville in year one has this program surging to the playoffs.
He sure does, and he and his staff has done a phenomenal job. And this is one of the biggest wins in Turling's Catholic history. The reason why I say that, it's been 11 years since they had beaten St. Thomas More. 11 years. All good things eventually comes to an end, and it came to an end for St. Thomas More that night from Turlings, which I believe won 38-14, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
Jordan?
38-14.
30-14. So big time win for them, and you best believe this is gonna be a top 3, top 4 seed in Division I Select. And right now with that win, I promise you, there are a lot of teams saying we don't want Turlings on our side of the bracket.
Lamar.
Yeah, I think that was a signature win for them. And that's, I've been having Turlings in my state rankings. I had them in the top 10 starting off so far this season, and they've been climbing ever so steadily. But in the back of my mind, I was also thinking, man, this team also needs a signature win. And this is a big one right there for them, not just only in those rankings, but like you said, also in those Division I Select rankings. There's a lot of heavy hitters there. They possibly could wind up as a second, third seed, depending on what may happen here with Ash's game against Neville there. But Coach Kerrville has definitely done a solid job this season. They needed to get past the boogeyman, which was STM, and they definitely did that there. And so now kind of swinging the series back towards their side as well. So hats off to them, and also for Turlings also for now getting themselves a big win there.
Yeah, happy Halloween. Rebels were on. Got a big win, Nick.
Rebels playing some good football, man. I was surprised, but not surprised. You know, when you get to week 9, you get to these district types of games, man, you got to let it all show, because there is no mop-up games no more. Everything is a playoff game from here on out. And it was a classic win and something they can build on going forward into the playoffs.
Absolutely. Big win for that program. They finally get it done. 11 years, and it was a big celebration Friday night in the Lafayette area. How about we shift our attention to the Baton Rouge region of the state of Louisiana? None of us cover the Baton Rouge area, but we do know what's going on in those parts of the state. We start with the district championship on Friday night, and it was University Lab and Madison Prep. Maybe the first of 2 meetings between these two. Who knows down the road if they wind up on the same side of the bracket, or they might meet in the Superdome itself. University Lab, Madison Prep, good coaching, great players, great defense in this one. 14-8, ULAB gets the win.
Great talent all around. And I mean, Madison Prep was up 8-0, I believe, at halftime, and University came back and got the win. These are 2 great teams. 2 teams that may be in the dome to play each other again. And I would have loved to have seen this ball game, to be honest with you, because Madison Prep is dangerous on both sides of the ball, and so is University. So, man, the score doesn't surprise me. I love defensive ball games. I do. I really love a defensive ball game, and that's what you had with those 2 teams. And they're dangerous, man. So look out for them moving forward in the playoffs.
Yep. Correct me if I'm wrong. Either a punt return, kick return, touchdown, and a pick 6 was in this game.
That's what I was told.
Yeah. Lamar?
Yeah, seems like every single time these 2 teams face against each other is always close. It's always a defensive battle, and this one was no different there. You know, I think these definitely were the top 2 teams in 6-3A. And I know for U-High, for them losing against Madison Prep last year, I know they definitely had this in their mind here. So, you know, great win for U-High. But I think, again, we might get a chance to see those 2 teams face against each other one more time here, and it would definitely be a treat. Hopefully it's in the dome, but if it's the game before the dome, that'll be even more of a treat too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, seeing U-High, man, congratulate them guys, because let me tell you something. They schedule was phenomenal. Signature win there. Signature win there for Madison Prep against Madison Prep. U-High, I saw them a lot. They scrimmage St. Charles Catholic every year, and they're right on the cusp of kicking the Superdome door down. And I think this might be the year. I feel really good about this Cubs team. I said Bears week 1, but it's Cubs.
The Cubs would have been in the Superdome a year ago if it wouldn't have been for all that mess. They would have been playing JV's guys.
Yeah.
Yep. we all agree on that one. We all agree.
So these two teams very well could see each other again, but how soon will it be? That's the question there. Moving along, got a close ball game in this one. I didn't see the score with what it was going to be. I thought that Bruley could pull away in this one and win it convincingly, but St. Michael put up a darn good fight here. Bruley gets by St. Michael 27-24. Both of these teams not playing for first because Plaquemine wrapped up the district, but good ball game here in week 9 between Bruley and St. Michael.
Yeah, great ball game. Two good teams, and I think Bruley is a surprise team on a lot of people's list this year because we saw them play in the Jamboree and we were like, wow, are they really this good? And they are really this good. And St. Michael's is a good team as well. Cannot leave them out. I mean, they're not ranked high for nothing in the power rankings for Division II Select. So good ball game between two good teams. Bruley figuring out ways how to finish a ball game with the win, which can go a long way for them moving forward. But that's two good teams that played a tough ball game, tough close ball game.
Bruley currently ranks 6th in the power rankings, and St. Michael's 9.
Yeah, a game like that.
Yeah, Bruley, I think
really help out Bruley.
This.
Go ahead, Lamar. Go ahead.
I was just about to say a game like that really could help out Bruley here going forward here. And I know they're trying to get that bye and trying to see where they can wind up there. But, right now at number 6 here, that could really set them up favorably going into the quarters. And you will definitely see what it definitely does there. But good win here for Bruley there.
Oh, yeah, I was on the same wavelength, It's just when you look at Bruley, we talked about Bruley early on in the year. Like JB said, we saw him coming. We didn't know it was going to be like this. And I think this might be the time to get to the quarters this year. We had somebody saying JFK, but I think Bruley gonna have a lot to say about this division this year.
JFK in select, Bruley's in non-select, so they wouldn't even match up with one another.
Correct. And remember, Bruley's only one loss this year is to Plaquemine by 8. So it's a good Panther team. I just didn't see the score being what it was this week. But if you're this late in the season, you're going to get everybody's best shot.
That's right.
Staying in the Baton Rouge area, one more for you. It's starting to become a trend here. Can we trust Zachary in the playoffs at home? Second loss in as many weeks. Central goes in, beats Zachary at Zachary 35-33. Your thoughts on the matchup?
The score indicated what I thought it would be. Very close, very high scoring. Central came out the gates fast early. They came out the gates fast. They got up on Zachary, but Zachary fought back. They were down double digits at one time, and they got it back. I think they even tied it at one time. But not Century, Central, able to finish it off strong, get the win. It's two good teams. You talk about Zachary losing 2 games at home. Yeah, that's very, very unheard of. Very, very unheard of. But I think Zachary is still a team that you may not want to see in the playoffs because I think that's a good team. I think the game against Liberty, I don't know if they overlooked Liberty or what, but Liberty was the better team that night. I think they played 9 more times, they would beat Liberty, but that's why you play the game. I think Zachary is going to be a tough out for anybody that they'll face moving forward.
In a Division I non-select bracket, that's wide open too.
Yep.
Go ahead, Lamar.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I don't think we could count out Zachary at this point. Yeah, the 2 losses are a little bit alarming there, but if they can really bounce back against Catholic here and have a good showing there, I think we're still going to be seeing them as a decent team. Right now, they're paired up with West Monroe in the second round, and that would be an amazing matchup between those two squads there. But Zachary's still a tough team, and they still can probably play very well. And let's not also forget about what Central has also done as well. I mean, Max Gassiet has really come to his own as a quarterback over there with the Wildcats. I remember seeing him when he was at Ash. He had some good moments over there, and now going over there at Central has really solidified his spot there as a quarterback there. So shout out to what Central's been able to do right now. They're trying to get right back to defend their state championship. They got a 5 seed at this point, and it's going to be very interesting to see where it goes on leading up into that.
Oh, yeah, 33-35, Central, they playing some good football. They had their little turbulence in the beginning. Now Zachary, they went through their gauntlet. It kind of surprised me. I thought it'd probably be a 1 or 2 point game like it was, but both teams gonna walk out of this just like a lot of these rivalry games. Now they look turning to be a good rivalry. Look, that team, we really Central is really putting people on notice this way, and then the Division I bracket non-select. So there's no secret. They're very big up front. They're physical, and they just like they coach. They let it all hang out.
Let's go to Cenla area. And I'm going to start with this one because I know they're in your area. Ouachita Christian beats Faraday 42-24. What can we expect from both of these teams going into their respective playoffs moving forward? One of them will play in select. One of them will play in non-select. Lamar, we'll start with you.
For OCS, I'm really interested in seeing about how can they perform this season here. I know they haven't had the toughest schedule there, but 9-0 is 9-0, and they have definitely have done whatever their job has been. Tough game this week coming up against Oak Grove. That will tell us a whole lot about the Eagles going forward. I mean, and I know their schedule is probably going to be a big reason why they're not going to get a high seed there, but they have continued to show why they're one of the top teams in the district. Going to Faraday, my challenge for them was this season. I wanted to see what could they do against those top 3 teams in that district: Mangum, OCS, and also Oak Grove. And even though that they lost to all 3 of them this season, they were in those ball games. They were a Hail Mary away from beating Oak Grove. Like I said, they were up on Ouachita Christian, so they that kind of shocked me when I was looking at that game at the Ash game. And then also against Mangum, they really hung around with them point for point until Mangum just scored a lot more points than that one. But it's also going to be very interesting to see what Faraday happens. I think they're going to get a home playoff game for sure. We're definitely going to see, are they going to be able to play at home? Looks like their field situation, they're trying to get it up and ready there. And I hope those kids get an opportunity to play another home game there. But I do think that they could probably make it at least to the second round, maybe even the quarterfinals, depending on the draws.
Nick Campbell, Ouachita Christian beats Faraday 42-24.
Whoo, yeah. That was one of our games we ended with last week, right? We was talking about it. We talked about it. That's where it went. And I didn't think it would have been 42-24. I thought it would have been a 34-31 game, something like that. But it's a breakout game for them. Both teams, they got playoff aspirations, and they're gonna get their best going through these last 2 weeks of the season, and playoffs are right there. So their coaches are getting them ready to participate and make that deep playoff run.
JB, two teams that want to end their seasons in the domes right now. One of them looks like could be a heavy favorite to do it over the second.
Yeah, I think Water Christian is a heavy favorite to do it. And remember, they got to the dome last year, and everyone was saying that was supposed to be a rebuilding year. So they got a lot of experience that came back on that team. And look, before the season started, I picked them to be a semifinalist team again. That team is just incredible. They are incredible. And to bring mostly everybody back from a team that went to the dome last year, that speaks volumes, especially in Division IV Select. It speaks a lot of volumes. So I mean, that team there, they're going to do some damage moving forward. Oak Grove, I think they could be a second round quarterfinal team. I don't see Oak Grove getting past that. They can prove me wrong. And I'd be like, tip my hat off to them. Of course I would. I just right now don't
they
see.
listening.
I know. And I'm they're a great team. I'm not trying to speak any of them. It's just my personal opinion that I see maybe quarterfinals, and that's about it. But if they prove me wrong, It's like Coach Spatafora told me, he told me straight up, yeah, I heard what you said about us. Had to prove me wrong, JB, when they won state over St. James. I was like, yeah, definitely, Coach. And I love it. So that's just my opinion, though. That's all.
So it's looking like Ouachita Christian will not be a double-digit seed going into the playoffs like last year. So they had to go and travel almost every round of the playoffs a year ago. So it looks like they're going to be at home quite a few times this playoff bracket. So we will see what happens after the Oak Grove game. They could slide into the top 4. So we'll keep an eye out on that right there. And Faraday, if they match up with the right team, we could see them make a push. But right now we just hope they get home game back on their field.
Definitely.
Like Lamar said. Lamar, stunner in Eunice. Leesville goes in and knocks off the Bobcats 36-34. Talk to me about those Wampa Cats.
And the Wampus Cats are definitely wamping right now. And I was looking at that one too, and I saw them. They were definitely on the ropes at one point against Eunice. I'm thinking, man, I don't know if this is Leesville year, but what Robbie Causey has definitely done with this squad so far. They've won 3 in a row. They have the opportunity to possibly win a 4th when they play against LaGrange in week 10. The crazy part about it is, who would have thunk that Leesville would be when they were 1-5, not just only have the opportunity to make it to the playoffs, but possibly having a home playoff game. If they can get this big win there, that's going to be a huge idea there for them. And they definitely play much better when they're in Leesville than they're not. And I know they've had a lot of young guys this season. Grant Braxton has really come to his own as a running back. I mean, nobody's really filling Xavier Ford's shoes, but he's definitely has tried to keep this running back high school thing that they got going on over there at Leesville. He has some big games there, and not just only that, but also you have their quarterback that is Trail Broom, who has also done a very solid job so far this season. So hats off to the Wampus Cats. I know things looked like they were doom and gloom at one point when they were 0-2, and especially when they were 1-5 at one point after losing to Iowa. But those guys kept on believing and kept on hanging in there. And, who knows? They could be a pretty dangerous team, at least in the first round, going forward there. Interesting to see what they do probably in the second round there. But they're on a roll right now. That's the most important part. You want to play your best ball going into the playoffs.
Currently ranked 14th right now, so one more week to get to solidify that home playoff game, Nick.
Yeah, we had them. You remember we had them going in as one of those 5-5 teams that could be really dangerous once they get healthy. We talked about them having some young players early on and going through their growing pains. And look, the hoodies are coming out. We want to see who's going to play football. Running games going to become superior, and the Wampus Cats got that.
I'll say this. It was just a few weeks ago, they weren't ranked in the top 24, and I was shocked. I was shocked because that's something I wasn't expecting from Leesville, period. But like Lamar say, they've gotten hot. They've won 3 games in a row, looking to get a 4th one in a row, 5-5, and host a playoff game. And that is a team right now that's starting to hit on all cylinders when you think about it. You know, getting a 4th win in a row, yeah, you're hitting on all cylinders, and you're playing your best football at the right time, which every team wants to be at, playing the right football at the right time. So Leesville, they're gonna play LaGrange. They get that victory, 5-5, hosting a playoff game. Look out, world, because sometimes a team that has the hottest streak can be one of the most dangerous teams you play.
Yep. Who's got the hot hand going in? One more for you. We all talked about it earlier with Lamar gave his starts, but now I want to hear the rest of the panel starts with Alexandria's late interception in that one. Go ahead, score to knock off Ouachita Parish. 28-21. Here come the Trojans.
We know about the Trojans defense. That was the first thing we were told about before the season started, that they would have a good defense. Didn't know about the offense yet, but they said the defense would be what they would lean on early. And sometimes late in the season, what you lean on early in the season may have to step up to help win a game for you. And that is what happened for Alexandria, getting an interception to seal the deal. Look, it's a good team, Alexandria. We could be sitting here right now saying that they should be undefeated due to a missed call from a referee. You know, on the kickoff, you're not supposed to be able to take the ball out of the end zone, and the ref didn't blow the whistle. And Alexandria fumbles the ball, and West Monroe gets it. So we could be saying they'll be undefeated, but they have one loss. But that is a good team, man. And they want to rewrite the wrong from last year in the Superdome. They want to rewrite that wrong. They want another shot at it. It's a good team. Got to look out for them.
They might get another crack at them if they keep playing the way they've been playing. Nick, thoughts on Alexandria and Ouachita Parish?
Yeah, sometimes more is less. The quarterback left. We talked about the kid that's getting there, get some playing experience, played some good games, came out here, played a really solid Destrehan team, started building some momentum. Beating a team like Destrehan can give your team some confidence. Ready to play a real tough. Having somebody like Ouachita Parish one week, the next week, Neville coming up, and playing that game, getting that kid that confidence, and really put them on a trajectory of being back in the dome or being at least in the Final Four, in my opinion.
Lamar, any final words on this one?
I guess my only final word is pretty much looking at this district, and I kind of alluded to it earlier. Nobody has control. Nobody controls their own destiny going forward in this one. And the crazy thing is everybody is going to need help from the other team here. And so all those teams 3-1, you have Ash, West Monroe, Neville, Ruston. They're going to need to root for each other. The one thing as before I got a chance to interview Coach Bachman last week, he yelled to the crowd, "Hey, I guess we're going to be Ruston Bearcat fans next week." So those two games are going to be incredible matchups there. I can't wait to get a chance to see it. It's an unfortunate problem, though, that Ash is playing Neville in Monroe this year. I would definitely love to see that game, but I'll definitely have my eyes and ears glued to that one, glued to both of them, actually, this week.
Absolutely. Let's go to New Orleans. Let's go and talk about 3 games that happened there. We start with Saturday. JFK gets the 1-point victory over De La Salle, 14-13. Talk to me about it, JB.
Well, we pretty much knew that these two guys would play for the district championship again. And De La Salle was up on Kennedy early and then retook the lead from Kennedy. But credit Kennedy's defense in the second half. And that's what's been big for them this year because they had to replace 9 starters on offense. And they usually have a good defense every year. Credit the defense for what they did in the second half. That's what won the game for them. The offense had one good drive to where they went down there and scored that game-winning touchdown to win 14-13. Nobody scored in the fourth quarter. Kennedy's defense was strong the entire half, and you got to credit Coach Larry Elfage and his staff, and especially that defense, the players, for helping them win that game.
Go ahead, Lamar.
Another team that's getting hot right there in Kennedy right there, and they've been winning these last. I think they're on a 5-6 game winning streak right now going forward here. They even have a chance of possibly getting themselves a bye going forward here, depending on how what situations kind of shake their way there. But good win for Kennedy this week here. For them just to kind of play their way into the postseason. I know they're going to have to face against Landry this week. I know this is a Landry team that's also fighting for a playoff spot there, but as we said before about Leesville, again, playing your best ball going to this time of the year makes you a very dangerous team right there. And, I think this Kennedy team is starting to figure everything out, and we'll definitely see if they can get that bye. But if not, I guess that continues to give them some good momentum going into the playoffs.
Yep, a Kennedy team that's currently ranked 11 and on a 5-game win streak, and got a good shot to win that number 6 next week, Nick.
Coach Elfage, man. Let me tell you something. This Kennedy team is going to be a little bit different. And credit De La Salle also.
He'll be back. He'll be back. He'll be back. He'll be back. Oh, man, he'll be back.
All right. As we wait for Nick to come back in, I go to JB, 14-0 Belle Chasse over Shaw. You saw the game?
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the deets. And, if you're Belle Chasse, you want to tighten up your punt return unit.
Yeah, definitely. You want to tighten that up.
One of them should have went your way. The other one did go your way.
Yeah, definitely. Shaw punted, and the ball hit the back of a Belle Chasse player. Shaw recovered. The ref said the ball hit a Shaw player. Okay, and then Belle Chasse later muffed another punt. And on that punt, Shaw didn't capitalize on the opportunity. It was on Belle Chasse side of the field. They didn't capitalize. Shaw only had 1 first down in the first half. Wow. They had 3 in the second half. They couldn't move the ball. Shaw got desperate. They tried, I believe, 3 trick plays. Not one worked. One of the passes was dropped, and that would have been a touchdown. So that was that. Belle Chasse lined up in, I think that's Nick. Yeah, that's Nick. Belle Chasse lined up in a heavy set. And when I say heavy set, they lined up with 7 offensive linemen, sometimes 8 and 9 offensive linemen. And they would just run heavy. Every time, run heavy. And Shaw never made any type of adjustments to stop the run. And that's basically it, pretty much. And Belle Chasse had drives of 7 minutes, 8 minutes, just wasting the clock, keeping Shaw's offense on the side of the field. So you got to credit Belle Chasse with the game plan that they had to win that game. I give them all the credit in the world. I think this may be a wake-up call for Shaw when they play St. Charles Catholic Friday night.
Can Belle Chasse give some teams problems in the playoffs with their style of play? Knowing that they're ranked 3 right now?
I think they can. I think they can because pretty much everybody's saying it's North DeSoto and that's it. I think Bell Chase can give some of these teams problems this year. I can see Bell Chase getting to the quarterfinals this year, especially if they stay in the top four. They stay in the top four, I think is automatic quarterfinals for them. You just got to be able to stop their running game. That's just it. They're not going to pass the ball. They attempted one pass against Shaw, and it was incomplete. So if you're able to stop their running game, they're in trouble.
Yeah, because here comes 8 to 10 minute drives.
Yes, right. That's right.
And they could just keep a good offense on the other sideline, right, Lamar?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was thinking Shaw was probably going to win this game there. I know the outcome was kind of a little bit surprising to me, but again, that shows why Bell Chase is a very solid team. I mean, I just looked at the standards that they just had, and they really had themselves this season so far a lot of shutouts. I think 4 or 5 shutouts so far this season. So good defense. They can keep the other team off the field. They can run the ball very well. Those are all ingredients on a team that can possibly go far into the playoffs. And as you said, JB, I mean, I also think that North DeSoto is probably going to have a good shot of probably winning this championship. I think it's their time. But if Bell Chase can not have to worry about facing against either one of them or Iowa going into the semifinals, or hold off from having to face against either one of those teams, or just only face against one of those teams, and that being at the Dome. I like their chances of possibly getting there because they have all the ingredients of a team that can actually go far.
Let me say this right quick before Nick goes. Shaw only had 111 yards of offense.
So what's that say about what's that say about St. Charles a week ago? How good the comments are for being able to score.
I watched that game, and you know what? We talked about this 2 weeks ago. Playing back there is magical. If that game is out at Bell Chase, it probably would have turned out a little bit differently. Bell Chase is very huge up front. They don't care to throw the ball. They can throw the ball. They've proven that they can throw it. But you get a team like St. Charles that run a multiple offensive scheme, they're going to be able to move the ball, and they stop the run really well. So a game like that going to fall in the favor of St. Charles. But Bell Chase, they can go pretty deep. I don't see them getting to the Dome because of the scoring factor. They're going to have to be able to score at will. They're more of a power team, and sometimes they're not a bullet team. They're just a power team, and they're going to have to take a lead in a lot of these games to make sure they get what they're looking for.
Okay. Well, let's go to another team in New Orleans that, whether you want to put it on their defense, put it on their offense, don't matter how they win the game. They're just better than everybody else in the state of Louisiana. Edna Karr beats John Curtis 48-26. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say that C word, Mr. JB, the sports guy.
The C word, the champs?
Go ahead and say the Cougars like you like to say.
Cougars! Edna Karr Cougars. Like I said when we started the show, Curtis had a lot of mistakes, some turnovers that hurt them. I think that hurt them a lot because they were right there 28-20 and then 35-20 at halftime, and then Edna Karr just took off winning 48-26. John Curtis has scored the most points on Edna Karr this year. That's a fact. And I don't know if there's a team that can beat Edna Karr, but I will say this. I will say if there's a team that Edna Karr does not want to play twice, it is John Curtis. It is John Curtis.
Yes.
Because I believe Coach JT Curtis and his staff, if they have to play Edna Karr again, they're going to sit down and watch film for about 20 hours. Then have practice, and then do it all again every day because they're going to figure something out to try to slow them down. So I think that's the team they don't want to see twice. I think they'd rather see St. Aug again than John Curtis. So if they're on the opposite sides of the bracket and get to the Dome, it's going to be great. Semifinals is going to be great. I'll still put my money on Karr, but I really believe John Curtis would make it a tougher and closer ball game if they were to meet again.
How brutal would it be if John Curtis, St. All, Catholic Baton Rouge all fell on Edna Carr's side of the bracket, knowing that we don't get to see one of those three in the state championship with them?
Oh God, it's a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet. That's just like
Be careful what you wish for.
It's just like the Division 2 non-select last year. The bottom bracket had all the heavy teams.
Yes,
We could
yes.
potentially be seeing state championship games in the semis or quarters.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Looking at JT.
Nick, go ahead.
Go ahead, Lamar. Go ahead, Lamar.
I was just about to say, if that scenario happens, hey, I know two teams in my area that will definitely be doing the Birdman hand rub if that's the case there. But not for sure. I think Carr for certain. I mean, this was a game right there that I was really interested in because I just thought that I have a feeling that it definitely continues to show here why Carr is definitely the best team in this side of the bracket, and also one of the best teams, definitely the best team in the state. I think they are pretty much obviously the hands-on favorite of winning the championship there. But as you said, JB, I think they probably don't want to face against Curtis again. I know JT Curtis. I mean, he's seen more football than all of us put together, basically. Yeah. And for whatever situation that he knows how to handle any situation there. And so definitely that would be an amazing matchup. That could be they'll have some things going for them in that one there. But man, I mean, again, it just continues to show here why it's just been Carr over everybody so far this season.
Yeah, I get a chance to spend time in the summer with Coach Randall and Coach Brown and having a good time with some of these guys throughout the summer, watching Carr practice, understanding how they 7-on-7 operate, understanding the building and the mechanism that's in the building is a high standard. It's a very high standard, and they playing like it. The kids bought in to it. You know, you don't want to be that team that's not going to represent Carr in the state championship. And even with the walking out of the tunnel, all of that, it takes a lot of hard work to do. Right now, to have, when you look at Curtis versus Carr in the Dome, man, I don't think, and we're not discrediting none of the top 4 teams, saying all could possibly still be there. But, man, I would love to see a classic game. I don't want to see that type of game where it's going to be a wash, Carr versus everybody else. You get what I'm saying? Because it's a standard right now.
To Lake Charles area we go. I got 3 games I'm gonna read off. I just want your quick thoughts on the 3 that really caught my eye in that area of the state. Lake Charles College Prep pretty much eliminates Como from playoff contention with a 56-14 victory. Westlake and South Bow was in a dogfight, 54-49. Westlake gets the win. And Jennings had to sweat it out with St. Louis. A late score gets them the 34-24 victory. Your thoughts on LCCP, Jennings, Westlake getting the win in the Lake Charles area?
Lake Charles College Prep, that's a dangerous team. My goodness, they're dangerous. Explosive on offense. Aiden Carter, the running back, has been magnificent this year. I know Como's fighting for that playoff berth. I think they were 23rd at the time when they played, and things just didn't go their way. Lake Charles College Prep is a good team. Jennings, great win for them as well. Great win for Jennings, and you can see that they're getting better each and every week.
Yeah, all 3 I think are very solid teams there. Westlake, they got themselves a pretty solid quarterback. Also, have some guys on defense that can really step up there. I kind of agree on the LCCP team, Lake Charles College Prep, man. I mean, they're back. I think they're back. They got some good athletes. They definitely love to score points. And face against teams like that in the playoffs that can kind of beat you in multiple ways there. that definitely can kind of show things here in the playoffs there, and they can get a good draw. I mean, they got a good chance of going pretty far.
Right now, LCCP
Yeah.
ranked 4.
Yeah, no surprise with Jennings or LCCP. We were talking about them all year, but it was so funny. JB and I think it was yesterday that we talked about Westgate might have to make a run this way in the first round, and it would utterly be surprising that a lot of teams this way that don't know about Westgate got their sickle sharpened, and I think they're ready to play anybody towards this way for the move on in the second round.
So
know,
wrong
Lee-
team we're talking about. We're talking
Right
about
now-
Westlake out of Lake Charles.
He meant
Westlake.
Yeah, Westlake. Yeah, Westlake. That's
Oh
what he
man,
meant.
I thought you said Westgate. I apologize. You know, I apologize. I thought you said. Look, I got George Pepper's Timu internet.
Mhm.
Oh,
You know.
man.
So, but yeah, still, yeah, Westlake is they're pretty decent too in that area, and you got to give credit where credit's due. They had a good season, having a good season.
Yeah, Westlake Jennings week 10. So those two teams will battle, and Lake Charles College Prep currently ranked 4, trying to get a top 4 seeding going into the playoffs. Watch out for the Trailblazers. Red hot right now.
Yes, sir.
I should look from the Lake Charles area. Let's go to the River Parish area. And Nick, they're not in the River Parish, but I'm going to throw them in there because I needed a third game to talk about because all y'all did was blow out each other this week. So I threw this one in because you have seen both teams so far this year. Okay, so I knew you could talk about it here. So River Parish, I'm going to start with Destrehan over Hahnville, 49-28. Your thoughts on Destrehan's when they get into the playoffs? A huge threat to go make their way back to New Orleans. And Hahnville, what's the ceiling moving forward for them?
That's a breakaway game, and it always occur around this time of the year. And the district championship is going to be decided next Friday. Well, this Friday is coming up. Destrehan, when a game like this dissolves, Destrehan gonna go one way, Hahnville gonna go the other way. Hahnville got a tough game in week 10 to try to keep a home game. That's gonna be real important to beat Lakeshore next week, and it can go south real quick. But I think Coach Bourne is gonna have his guys pretty much around. Look, JB was there. It was an overwhelming type of atmosphere for anybody. Destrehan, they did some uncharacteristic things, but when they got it together, they put it on their bell cow and they started to move the ball really well. And moving forward in that district, A5A, the district champion don't necessarily be the one that advance all the time.
JB.
Definitely. Hahnville, Destrehan, what can you say? Every year it's just magical to be at that game every year. It's magical no matter who wins. What's also magical for me and Nick, you know, I got family out there. Nick is from there. Seeing people that you know, you get to talk to them for a good while. It's like a family reunion. But there's kryptonite in Hahnville's defense against Destrehan, and especially the past 2 years, they have not been able to stop the running game. Malachi Dabney has had 2 straight games against Hahnville of 240 yards or more.
Plus.
Yeah, he has eaten them up, period. And then he scored every touchdown for Destrehan on Friday night. And I mean, Coach Scoble for Hahnville, he's a great defensive coordinator. It's just the fact right now, Destrehan has his number with their running game. Destrehan moved up to the number 2 seed just with that win. And I do think, once again, that Destrehan is a semifinal team. Hornville, I think Hornville can make a run to the quarters, just depending on the type of matchups.
2 or 6.
Yeah, I think
Number 6.
6? Oh, I saw 2 on something else then. My bad. 6 then.
But good point there, because I was also looking at it too there and looking at them at number 6. Again, depends on the matchups right now. At this point, looks like they would be matched up with Neville in the quarterfinals. That would be a hell of a matchup between those two teams there. But Malachi Dabney, I mean, I saw one of the tapes here for this game, 7 touchdowns in the ball game. And he continues to show why he's one of the top running backs in the state there. And he's been having some big games so far this season. I know Destrehan has a lot of weapons, especially their quarterback and also their wide receiver. But it seems like from every single game this season, when I've seen their stats and everything, this is the guy that they lean on. And if he continues to run the ball very well, this is another team that can kind of go far into the playoffs there. I do, like I say, depending on the matchups, I do also like their chances of possibly going a pretty decent ways into the playoffs there. And it could be very interesting. We could see them at the Dome, possibly.
Can I say something about that? Or I was still talking about Destrehan. The most important thing about how Coach Scott is taking care of Malachi's usage. And when we talk about 7 touchdowns, it's not like he's really trying to make 7 touchdowns. His usage this year has been minimal. If you go and check his stats, last year he won our prep player of the year, and he really got it started in week 3. From week 3 to week 10, he averaged 265 yards a game. 265. So this year he started a little bit early, and he haven't been at the 235, but he's been consistently right at 200 yards. I think one game he might have had 180 yards rushing with less usage because it was done at the half.
Okay. Nick, I'm coming right back to you. George Washington Carver beats East St. John 21-19. Thoughts?
We picked that game for East St. John to win, to probably have a little bit Brett left to get right inside. But I heard a lot of rumblings about the game. It was a pretty good game going back and forth. George Washington Carver got the best at the end. East St. John been having scoring woes for the last 2 years, man. They're very young. Coach Brown is a defensive guy. They're putting up points, but not enough at this point of the season. JB was all on my show. Yeah, Carver. That dude was going to win this game. And I get it, but Coach Brown, he's a defensive coordinator. He kept that game close. His cupboard is empty, but at the same time, he gave his team a chance to win.
Carver currently ranked 13 right now. Any concerns with them going into the playoffs, JB, knowing that they got some heavy hitters at the top?
They got a lot of heavy hitters at the top, but right now, Coach Figueroa, he wants this team to be in the playoffs. They didn't make it last year. Okay. His goal is for them to get in the playoffs. They got a chance to get a home game, which I think they will, because they already played Douglas. They already played they got to play Douglas. So it's going to be a tough game. He gets the win over Douglas, then they'll have a home game for sure. He definitely wants that home game. He's done a phenomenal job getting this program back up and running. And just for them to be in the playoffs speaks a lot about what he and his staff has done. I knew Carver would be ready for this game. Because number one, they're playing a 5A team, and this is more points for a win. So Coach Figueroa got his team ready. He had them motivated, and they went to Laplace and got that win. Credit to them for getting that win. But Carver, got some talent on that team. Coach Figueroa just trying to build it back up and make them a more dangerous and successful team moving forward.
Yeah, hats off to Carver for getting themselves a big win against a 5A squad. That's 2 5A teams that they've defeated so far this season. And so, like you said, I mean, just trying the goal for them was to get to the playoffs. Now you get a home playoff game on top of that. You get your fans, you get your fan base energized there to see that one. that could really help out a team going far. I mean, I got a chance to see something like that last year. Well, they didn't play at home, obviously, but I saw Booker T. Washington, New Orleans, playing, had a senior laden team when they played Buckeye. They were excited just to get themselves a chance to win. And, and of course they got it all the way to the quarterfinals there. So, something like that, that could really energize a team, that could really energize a fan base, make those athletes go far and help out those teams, and especially the seniors that have really put in the time to try to get the program back up and running there. Always a good thing.
Nick, I could not find another game for you, so I just threw this one in because I knew you've seen both teams play this year. Okay? So I try to get three from each. I try to get three from each respected areas. Well, this ain't your area, but we're going to talk about it anyway. You're an honorary member this week. How's that?
I'm ready for it.
All right. Thursday night, what a win for Coach Narcisse's ball club. Thibodaux beats Terrebonne 27-21. You talk about signature wins. Well, year one for Coach Narcisse, he gets one right there.
He knows that area. He knows that area too.
It's incredible. Running back, Coach Jasmine. He and I, we talk a lot, and we was supposed to talk before the game, and we wound up talking 2 times after the game. But we had Coach Narcisse on last year. He's a prodigy. He's a high school football prodigy as a coach. I mean, if you think about it, Thibodaux was left for dead last year without a coach, without talent, supposedly. And they really started to getting it together. I watched them out through the summertime. The staff is tremendous. Coach Narcisse wherever he goes, he's going to bring some staffers over there with him. And the most important thing about high school football is the kids got to love the staff because you got to want to play for them. And the game was electrifying. I was not there, but I watched every bit of it. It was one of those games where everything was on the line and really nothing was on the line because the championship was going to be next week. The championship was going to be decided next week regardless. So Thibodaux took on Terrebonne, a talented Terrebonne team. Terrebonne went on the road. It was electrifying. It had 2-3 DJs out there. The fanfare was incredible. It was like, I'm telling you, when Thibodaux made their state basketball run, that's the type of environment it was out there. And you could tell, because I had one of my cousins, he's a deputy back there, he said it was chaotic back there. So saying that to say this, Coach Narcisse then re-energized the fan base of Thibodaux, and they're going to be a tough out for anybody.
Well, we saw what Coach Narcisse did just in 1 year at Ascension Catholic. He got into the semifinals. And then he took this Thibodaux job. I went and saw their scrimmage. I think it was called the Gold and Purple scrimmage, something like that. I don't remember what it's called, but I think that's what it's called. I went there, and Nick speak of coaches. So one of the coaches said, "What's up, JB?" I looked and said, "Hey, what's happening, man?" And then I stopped. I turned around. I said, Skylar Green? He said, "Yeah, bro." I said, wait. When you start coaching high school football? And he said, I've been coaching, man. I was with Narcisse at Ascension Catholic. So when Nick say about the coaches that he got some hellified coaches. Now, let's get back to this game, because I kind of thought Thibodaux would be this team we talk about maybe next year or the year after, a couple years from now. Nick was telling me, "Hey, man, I'm telling you, watch out for the district. It may not be one of those teams you think, JB." And I got to give Nick his credit because he did say that. But for Thibodaux to win this game, it's a statement win for the program, for that culture over there, and even for the school. And if you watch the videos of how they all were celebrating, that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. And they've been waiting for that for a very, very long time. And now they got a chance to win the district championship against Destrehan. It says a lot about what Coach Narcisse has done and how he's been able to change the culture over there at Thibodaux.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like you said, sometimes your time may come earlier than expected and everything, and that's just only going to help you go further along right now. They definitely have continued to play very well. Like I said, big win out there for them. No matter what they do against Destrehan, no matter what they do in the playoffs there, even if they get themselves one win in the playoffs this season, that's a big building block now. They know what is going to be expected of them going farther into the playoffs. So again, my hat goes off to them there, and hopefully they continue to build upon that, not just only this year, but also next year and going forward.
I need quick words from all of y'all on the 5 to 10 games I'm about to reel off. Sounds good?
Yep.
Yes.
We're just going to go around the room. Quick words. Vanderbilt Catholic stays undefeated, but was not easy. They beat South Terrebonne 21-18. Go, JB.
They found a way to win. They found a way to win.
Not surprising. Vanderbilt. Yeah, they're still undefeated. Not surprising. They're still running the ball pretty well, and they're going to be a tough out themselves.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Like I said, still staying undefeated right now. Continue to play great ball.
Close one there. Another close one here with Rummel beating Jesuit 21-17, JB.
Catholic League fight. That's what you can expect every week. A Catholic League fight between the Catholic Leagues. But Rummel is the better team, and once again, found a way to win.
Go, Nick.
Same.
Yeah, I think it. Just watching Rummel and Rummel playing all of these Catholic League teams, man, I kind of wish they didn't have to play each other. Just run a tournament at the end and let them play 5 other teams, man, because you really can't give yourself a chance. Rummel started off smoking hot, then they ran up against St. Aug, LCA. They started to turning the page, and then I just that Catholic League, man, I'm telling you, it's something else. Just seeing good games and them not being able to put it together. Tough game for Coach Manali,
You went, Lamar?
Yeah, I was about to say same thing about Rummel there, finding a way to win, continuing to play great defense, continuing to run the ball very well. Good win over there by the Raiders in this one there.
Slidell beats Chalmette 36-28.
Shocker. Didn't see it
Who
happening.
Is Slidell? Who is Slidell week to week?
Well, I mean, coach is doing a great job with that program, and but I didn't see him beating Chalmette, so shocked. I was shocked, and I think they pretty much solidified themselves in the playoffs.
That's a good one. Shocked. Lamar.
Yeah, that's another district right there that can be very interesting here. Nobody has control of their own destiny there. I was kind of playing around with the power ratings to see what's going on there, but yeah, shocked there, but that's going to set up a good week 10 for all those teams there in that district.
Nick?
I'm not shocked. I wouldn't want to be the calculator in that district. Because I tell you, man, at the end of the day, it's going to be determined by those numbers. And as long as a team like Lutcher keep winning, that played a really good schedule themselves, I think Slidell might have that edge. Even in breaking, I heard their quarterback had a little injury, and they started a younger cat that was really progressing for Slidell.
East Ascension beats Dutchtown 30-28. Week in and week out, this district delivers.
One of the best districts in the state. East Ascension, I think they're starting to put things together. And after the loss from Turner's Catholic, able to bounce back now with a big-time victory.
Yeah, EA's getting hot, playing some pretty good ball here. Probably don't want to face against them going into the playoffs.
EA, good coaching that's involved in a program. Turling Catholic game was an eye opener for the whole fan base, and the coach got Coach Modern. They got the kids' attention. If we're gonna be great, we gotta beat these types of teams. And look, Dutchtown, East Ascension rivalry, back-to-back district, Santa Ma. Man, look, it's nothing but great football in that district. It's kind of like the River Parish district.
McDonough 35 beats Frederick A. Dulwich 26-20.
Oh man. District champs went down 35 right there. That did it for them. That won them the district, and they proved a lot of doubters wrong.
Okay, congratulations, McDonough 35 district champs. Y'all too good at the bottom?
2 weeks ago,
Yeah, I'm
2
good.
weeks ago, we didn't even see. 2 weeks ago, we didn't even see that coming. After the St. James victory, we didn't know what was going to happen to McDonough 35. Kudos to the coaching staff for picking the team back up, getting them prepared to play a district and not even crowned district championship. And again, I would hate to see where they fall, but they're going to go up against a gauntlet in that division themselves for the playoffs.
Yep.
Notre Dame Pios beat Lafayette Renaissance 59-20. A lot of people saw this one close, or even Renaissance getting a win. Thoughts?
Notre Dame is a legit team in Division III Select. They are a legit team right there with Joe Sumner, Dunham, especially Lafayette Christian. It's a dangerous team. Louis Cook got his team playing very, very good football right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing. I think Notre Dame is a pretty solid team, pretty salty team. They have a good chance of possibly making it down there to the dome. But LRCA, they're on the rise. They're on the rise. They're coming. I know they're going to make it the move up to 4A. So obviously that's going to interested in seeing what that's going to do for their growth. But they're on the rise.
I thought it would have been a closer game. When I saw the score being that big of a margin, I kind of wondered what was really going on, and they themselves, they played LCA. They came up against a tough little matchup, and now we get to that game, and when I saw the score, I was like, holy smoke. I got to go back and do some investigation on how it got separated by that big of a margin, and I know not discrediting Coach Cook, we know he always keep his team prepared. 59 points? That's a lot.
Okay. St. Paul's beats Mandeville 31-24.
That's a rivalry. That's a rivalry right there. I expected it to be close, but St. Paul's, they find a way somehow to escape with a victory. It's more than once every year they will find a way to escape with a victory. So credit St. Paul's.
Yeah, same sentiments there. Again, St. Paul's continues to find a way. I think that's also going to help their chances out in winning the district, and so that's going to help them there. Again, very solid team, very technically solid team there. So, yeah.
I didn't think it was going to go that way. I was on the side of Mandeville. Week 2, it was a reminder of one of those fans came and told us I'm always hard on Mandeville. No, I'm not. I just didn't. I was riding with y'all this time, and it didn't. St. Paul got the best of them, and it's playoff time, so we're going to see where Mandeville fall, and I hope they don't have to, make a move our way to play any of our teams.
Holy Cross falls to St. Aug 32-24. Thoughts on this one?
I want to credit defensive coordinator Tommy Connors for having a good game plan. I think he's a good defensive coordinator, and allowing St. Aug only 14 points in the first half is pretty good. St. Aug made some adjustments and they're able to get that victory. Holy Cross played them tough, only lost by 8 points. So I credit Holy Cross a lot for fighting St. Aug and almost coming away with a victory and keeping it close.
Yeah, credit the Holy Cross there. But St. Aug, continuing to be a solid team there. That game between them and John Curtis next week. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a really, really fun one to see if John Curtis rebounds nicely against from their loss against Carr this past week, or does St. Aug now push their way up and getting closer to that number 4 seed. It's going to be an interesting game there. I can't wait to hear about that one.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked St. Aug being a machine that it was, scoring points, a lot of points the whole year. And to have a close game like that, Holy Cross did an incredible job. To get one, you're gonna probably have to shrink out, take the out the ball, and just play that game with a solid team like St. Aug. But I was expecting St. Aug to really keep their average up. They've been averaging right at 38 to 40 points a game. And just like JB said, kudos to the defensive coordinator to not letting that cat out that bag. Because if they did, they're gonna try to keep their average up.
Sorry for keeping y'all so late, but I can't let y'all leave without hearing about these last 2 games. You like offense? This one had it in North Louisiana. North Dakota Loyola Prep in an offensive explosion. 2 great quarterbacks. Stonewall was rocking. North Dakota wins it 63-49, JB.
Well, on the Hash It Out show, I said North Dakota will win this game big. I say that because, in my opinion, Loyola Prep didn't play tough competition. They played its toughest competition, and they played them well and tough. I got to give Loyola Prep a lot of credit. I think they didn't have a lot of people who was doubting them early in the year. Now is giving them credit. Say, hey, they may be a legit team after this game against North DeSoto. I think they have Northwood Street this week, Friday night, so that's another tough game for them. But Loyola Prep, they got my respect because that was a tough game, and they played it close. They got my respect.
Yes, exactly. I think I think the world obviously of North DeSoto. I think they're a very solid team, and for them getting a good win against Loyola, great win there. But Loyola, I mean, there definitely have been a team that I've been I was interested in absolutely at the start of the season, especially with Bryce Restovich as the quarterback that they have there. Alex Mitchell has really performed pretty well at the DB position for them. Loyola, they can go into some shootouts with some teams there, and quarterback play is always a big thing when we get down deep into the playoffs too. And not having a quarterback that's rattled, looks like they got a guy that's very, very seasoned there. That could help them out going forward.
The scores, it was wowing me. And I was asking myself, did anybody play defense? But when you look at it, when you got these top tier quarterbacks like that, it's going to be hard to tell them not to catch these guys that run with the ball really well. And 62 to 49, games like that is one or two plays that makes the difference for that score to be separated like that. 1 or 2 plays. So it could be then a score indicated,
Going into the playoffs, I think Loyola Prep has entered Division II Select as one of those teams that we wasn't paying attention to. Now we have to throw them in the mix.
Yeah.
And North Dakota is come catch us.
Definitely.
Final game. Neville goes into West Monroe and beats West Monroe 22-19. That rivalry right there is as strong as ever.
Yes, it is. It is. And I was saying earlier about Neville, the losses that they have, they were winning. They had the lead, just didn't figure out how to win. And I think the game against Washita, they finally figured out how they have to win games late. And here we are against West Monroe, another big-time game, and they got the victory late with the win. So credit Neville now for finally figuring out how to close games out.
Yeah, huge win there for Neville. Definitely gets them going for confidence wise here. And like you said, they got a chance to even play for a district championship against Ash this week. Man, Bill Ruppel Stadium, that's going to be rocking out there. And I can't wait to hear about that one there. Two big games over there in Northeast Louisiana that could really be very good into settling one of the top districts in the state.
Yeah, Coach Dyson did a good job with West Monroe the whole year. And when I saw that score, I was like, holy cow. We understood it was going to be a good game. JB, we talked about closing with the Neville Tigers for 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row trying to close out games. And look, credit the Boot Breakdown because they're paying attention and they listening, saying they never got to learn how to close out games. And they wound up closing out a big one against West Monroe, 22-19. You had just left me when I found out the score, and I was like, holy cow.
Yes, indeed.
You look at Neville all the way up to 3 in the power rankings. So just when you think it was going to be everybody else, here comes Neville. Top three matchups in your area next week, JB.
Ooh, man. Well, St. Aug and John Curtis for sure. That is definitely one. That's for power rankings right there. Power rankings positioning. Who can move up and who's going to move down. Shaw at St. Charles Catholic. Shaw wins. They maybe move up to 3, 2, 4. We'll see. St. Charles Catholic looking to win the district championship outright. The other game, this is for the district championship as well. Riverdale versus Bonneville. It is going down Friday night. The trash talking has already begun between these two teams already. And what most people don't know, there's a receiver for Riverdale who's a senior who played at Bonneville the previous 3 years. It's going to be the storylines for that game, Riverdale and Bonneville. It's going to be a good one. I think that's going to be a tough matchup, close ball game. Somebody's getting a district championship. We'll see.
Lamar, your top 3 games in your area next week.
I've already talked about Ash Neville, so I'll give you guys 3 more to kind of start off with. Tioga going to Franklin Parish, District 248 district championship there. That's going to be an amazing game here. You're going to get a chance to see Desirian Ellis over there for Franklin Parish. Hopefully he's back ready and healthy. But also Kervin Johnson, newly LSU commitment there. A lot of points probably will be scored in that ball game there. So I can't wait to hear about that game there in Winsboro. I'll go to District 2-3A, Catskin, Bunkie, Marksville. That's a Thursday game. That's going to be an amazing game as well. These two teams are going to be 8-1 facing against each other. No love lost, but all the people in the parish, they're going to be coming out there. I know, get you a plate. That's the most important there. And then last but not least, District 5-2A championship game. Avoyelles traveling down to Kinder. Avoyelles has gotten hot right now. One of the winners of their last 6 games. They're playing very well. They're playing their best ball going up into there. But Kinder, this is still an undefeated team, 9-0. Avoyelles would love nothing more than to wreck Kinder's perfect season and to also get themselves that district championship game. Avoyelles has done it before. That should be an amazing ball game there. Can't wait to hear about all 3 of those.
Nick, top 3 in your area.
Don't look now, man. We got a red hot Newman Greenies playing South Plaquemine. That's going to be a game that a lot of people going to be taking notice this way, man. Newman started off with some River Parish powers. They struggled really early on, but they didn't collectively put 6 in a row, JB? They didn't put
5
6
in
in
a
a
row.
row together, and they scorching 5 in a row. So they scorching hot right now. The Newman Green is under their new coach. And secondly, district championship and 8-5A, Thibodeau going to Destrehan is a hard place to win and to get a district champion crown. If you're a road team, Coach Scott, I know you're probably watching. He's going to pull out the 64 Impala. They're going to cut on Dre Day. They're going to have the lights flickering up and down. The fans is going to get pumped up, and it's going to be a magical night in Destrehan. And the last game I have is, I hope I don't take yours, but I want to see that game, Mr. Jordan, Westminster Christian and St. Edmunds. Thursday night.
Top three games in my area this coming week is Catholic Appoinkopee at Opelousas Catholic, St. Ed's at Westminster, and Carencro at Acadiana.
Oh, yeah. It's going down at Acadiana. It's going down.
Most intriguing game of week number 10, JB. Who is it in the entire state of Louisiana if you had to pick one?
Ooh, the entire state of Louisiana. I got to go up north. I think that game between I just had the team in my head. Yeah. West Monroe and Ruston. That's it right there. West Monroe and Ruston to me is the most intriguing game this week.
Lamar.
I'm gonna stay up north, and I'm gonna give my hometown some love here. Evangel Parkway. I think that's gonna be an interesting game too. Parkway's 9-0, but would love to wreck Evangel's chances of getting that district championship. Panthers trying to get themselves a perfect season as well, but also Evangel out there, of course, having that loss against LCA. They were close in those 2 losses that they've had this season, close to having themselves a perfect season too. That's going to be an amazing night over there, and a lot of points will probably be scored in that game too.
Nick, most
you took my thunder. I love. That's the game I was intrigued by myself. That's going to be a game. Me personally, I want to see if Parkway a hard 2 or a soft 2, or a hard 1 or a soft 1 with the games that they didn't play. So them winning that game, Parkway winning that game, is going to kill all my doubt that they are legit.
And mine, I'm going to North Louisiana also. I'm going Alexandria at Neville. That's my one. I'm keeping close tabs on over the weekend. Final words, JB.
Well, week 10 is here already. This season has flown by, but it's been some great football. We got playoffs coming right after. So, man, just enjoy it while you can, because it's coming to an end soon, unfortunately. It's coming to an end.
Final words, Lamar.
Look, I love the playoffs, but I also love week 10 just as much. I mean, you have a lot of teams, district championships being played, playoff spots up for grabs. A lot of teams, quote unquote, desperate, trying to make it, trying to get to their good spots there. It's a great time of season, man. I love it. I love it. I just can't wait to see what happens.
Final words, Nick.
I love week 10 because it separates everybody, the contenders and the pretenders. The pretenders going home, and the contenders going to live to play another week and move on. And you might get that Cinderella story from certain teams, man. And we always talk about the numbers in the power rankings, but look, they got some teams in that. That's why we do the boot breakdown, to let folks know that they're coming.
JT, let me ask you a question right quick while we're here. So, I know you usually do a bracket show on Sunday, and I usually do one as well on our respective shows.
Mm-hmm.
You want to run the boot breakdown Saturday?
Or the brackets are going to even be out yet?
Not on Saturday. They'll be out on Sunday.
Sunday at 11.
Yeah, that's why because I know he usually does his own show with the brackets. I do too. That's why I'm asking. So to see what's best for him to run the boot breakdown.
Y'all going Sunday evening? We're going Sunday evening, so we got to figure out something. Maybe Sunday morning, Sunday lunch.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
It depends if we have any more holes of the brackets.
Oh, yeah.
Like a year
Don't
ago.
remind me. Don't remind me.
Don't remind me. Oh,
We
my
will.
goodness.
Final words for
Just the
myself.
phone,
I
the white
want to.
smoke.
Yeah. Final words for myself. I want to say, if you are a senior playing your final downs this coming week, with not going playing postseason football, this is your final week of practice, final week to play a game. Enjoy it. It's the final time. Go out and leave a memory that you will have for a lifetime. And those seniors that will be playing in the postseason, have no regrets. Work your tail off because the fun is just beginning.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, that will do it this evening for the Boot Breakdown Week 9. We put a bow on Week 9 and we shift gears to Week 10. Number 1 seeds will be locked up. Final spots into the playoffs will be locked up. Who's getting a home playoff game? Who's traveling? Who's going to win the district championships? Who's already the district champions? A lot to break down in week number 10. We say goodbye for now. And if you want to watch JB in the Sports Guy, the Hash It Out show on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 7 to 8:30 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. If you want to catch Nick and your brunch on 11 a.m. on Thursday, catch Nick and Coach breaking down things all River Parish. And Lamar, you're going to have to let everyone know where they can find your radio show afterwards on Friday nights. Because I just found out that you did that when we were at the Bunkie game a few weeks ago. So let us know your post-game show that everyone can find on Friday nights.
I appreciate that. So you can find us on 102.3 Jack FM, 102.3 Jack FM. You can search it. I don't know what the website is exactly, but 102.3 Jack FM. You can listen to us live if you're on the internet, and get a chance to listen to us between 10 and midnight on Fridays. So we'll definitely get a chance to talk to all the coaches around the area. And I know for this week, we're going to try to break down some of the brackets as they get ready to try to come out here, as some of the scores keep on coming in. So can't wait for that.
Let me say this right quick. Let me say this, because Lamar is a hard-working man. Because come Friday night, you heard he just said 10 to 12 with that show, but he also makes a call to Ken Trahan's original prep report and give him a breakdown of some of the games also. And that's different stations throughout the state of Louisiana. I know it's 106.7 FM here in the New Orleans area. So that man Lamar, one of the best to do it.
Look. Last Friday, I think it was up at 4:30 in the morning, getting ready to substitute teach a class, and I got to the house at about midnight. I was done.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to watch anything Under the Lights related, you can catch us on Wednesday nights at 8:30 to 11. This coming week, JB, you're announcing your games?
Yes, right now, Friday night, we have Newman at South Plaquemines for the district championship. So we having that one. I got a phone call. Well, I didn't get the phone call. VK got a phone call from a coach today that want us to do their games. So I have to call him when we finish this show and see what his details are and go from there. So we'll see. And then I'll announce that.
Okay. Nick, where you're headed this week?
My intention is to see Shaw in St. Charles, but the one across the river is a little bit too enticing myself. So I hope the Hash It Out show have Shaw in St. Charles or somebody streaming so I can double dip again.
Okay.
VSN will have Shaw in St. Charles, but if you want to go to Shaw, let me know. I can email the AD and he'll have your thing ready for you.
Okay, sound like a winner.
Yeah, Shaw do
Lamar,
that.
where are you headed this week?
So I'm gonna probably do 2 games Thursday. I will be traveling down to Bunkie, Louisiana for the Catskin game. 8-1 versus 8-1. Marksville and Bunkie should be an incredible matchup between two good teams. Friday, I don't know quite yet. I'm debating on going to a game with some implications. Possibly, maybe Kinder of Wolves is probably one um, that could be interesting. I know it's only an hour away, so I can get to the station in time. I also thinking about another one. Maybe Lakeside Winfield could be an interesting one. I know that could be a knockout game to see who gets into the playoffs. I know Lakeside is 28 in their bracket in Division 3 non-select. Winfield is 29, so that could be a little bit of a playoff game before the playoffs even happen. So, like I say, desperate teams, man. I just love that.
Cool deal. And I will be UTL will be Thursday night at 8-1 Marksville at 8-1 Bunkie. This time I will not eat as much as I did before the game and show up. So I went to eat at Rocky's before, and I was too full to eat at the Grove afterwards. So I won't make that mistake this time. So Lamar, meet me in the Grove Thursday night.
It's a date. Let's do it.
And then Friday, listen to this, Nick.
Listen, Nick.
Listen where we're headed Friday. We're going 9-0 at 7-2 for the district championship live on Under the Lights. Any guesses?
I know. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Talk to me.
District championship live on Under the Lights. How about a little road trip? We're going Jules Sumner at a meet.
Ooh, that's a nice little ride. Now you might want to eat early going and take that ride.
I got a half a day Friday. We're leaving early. We're going to get there early. We're going to stop and eat. So we got Catskin game Thursday. We got district championship game Friday. How about build some momentum going into the playoffs, boys?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Then we're going to find a lot about Jules Sumner this weekend.
It's going to be some fun over there. Senior night for a meet. District championship on the line. Can't wait. All right, that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for staying up late with us. And on a Sunday next week, we will have playoff brackets to give to you. We're looking forward to it. When the brackets come out, it's going to be a whole hell of a lot of talking to do. So for now, myself, Jordan Taylor, JB the Sports Guy, Nick with the Prep Report, and Lamar Gaffer, we say goodbye. Enjoy your week. Week 10 is here. God bless high school football, and God bless each and every one of you.
Without a doubt. Appreciate you guys.